And there you have it. The first weekend of the competitive marching season for 2019 is in the books. This is something, if you're new to this whole thing here, this is something I call the cherry on. It is a post show. Basically look over numbers, trends, anything weird that happened during the contest. We go over all that stuff. It is ironically called that because I think that cherries are terrible. In fact, I think they suck. Anytime somebody offers me a cherry at an ice cream place, I say no, and then I jump over the counter and punch them in the face. So that is what we call the cherry on. My name's Daniel. Good morning again, Daniel Valdez again. Pleasure to talk to you again, whether you're on the YouTube page or on the Apple Podcast app, whichever you're listening to. Search the Danpodcast. Thank you, everybody. There's been a bump in viewership. There's been a bump in subscriptions, all that stuff. Thank you so much for your support, all your love, all your messages, all that fun stuff. Thank you very much. Appreciate it tons. Let's put a cherry on the McAllen Regional. We'll go over all that fun stuff, and then we'll put that cherry on, and we'll put it on the shelf, and then we'll get to what we need to get to at the end of this episode. First things first, congratulations goes out to the John B. Alexander High School Band, Laredo, Texas, their very first regional championship in school history. Congratulations. That is a big, big step up for them from where they were last year. Last year was a step up from the previous year, and now they've stepped up even more this year, and that's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want. You don't want to dip down and dip up and dip down. No. You want exponentially steady growth year after year after year. That's exactly what you're looking for. So congratulations, John B. Alexander, regional champions of the McAllen Regional with a 77.1. Let's just go over the list. For finals, 10th place was United, 9th place was Mission, 8th place Del Rio, 7th place Sherryland, 6th was Birdville, 5th was McNeil, 4th place was Pioneer, 3rd place Winston Churchill, who won the visual caption in finals, Roma in 2nd place with a music caption, actually tied with John B. Alexander, and then in 1st place John B. Alexander, tied with Roma for the music caption, and then won the general effect caption outright. My rule of thumb, and it varies from person to person, my rule of thumb is if you win a contest by a point, that's a pretty dominant performance. Anything by a point, any subcaption, anything like that, when you're looking at numbers, personally, if I see a 1 point gap, which is what they had, Roma and Churchill actually tied for second, but you break ties with GE with general effect. Whoever has the higher general effect gets the higher placement. Roma had the higher general effect. So therefore, in conclusion, they get second place, Winston Churchill gets third. But anytime you win the contest by a point, anytime you win a sub-caption by close to a point, that's a pretty dominant performance. And you see that general effect caption there, 46.3 for John B. Alexander, and then Roma in second with a 45.70. You know, it's pretty. That's a 0.6 of a point gap. That's substantial, especially this early in the season. Congratulations to John B. Alexander. Great performances all around. There was a little bit of movement in from prelims to finals, from the 10 that made finals, and then the final result at the end of the contest. There was a little bit of movement. Now, whenever that happens, you got to look at a couple things. You got to look at performance. That's the first thing you really need to look at is if that happened in your program, you were at a place, you placed well in prelims, or you placed pretty high in prelims, and then you dropped in finals. First thing that needs to happen is inward inflection. Did we have the best possible performance in finals? That's very important because it's an easy, I don't want to say excuse, but you know what? I'll go ahead and say excuse. It's an easy excuse to just blame the judges for everything. Especially if you're a performer that was not satisfied with the result that you received at the contest. Well, the judges were screwy and that's what else. That doesn't help anybody. You don't get better as a performer by blaming the judges about anything. First thing is, whenever you see the up and down between prelims and finals, inward inflection. Did we have the best possible performance? Second thing, then you look at the numbers. Then you look at, okay, let's see what happened here. And a lot of programs look at, when that stuff happens, when you're at one place in prelims and then you drop in finals, a lot of programs review tape. They look at their finals performance and like, okay, what happened here? Why are these mistakes happening now and didn't happen during the day? It happens sometimes. And then obviously you want to look at if there were any penalties and whatnot. Let's talk about penalties for a second. Seem to be a pretty substantial amount of them given out. Now, penalties I don't really like talking about, but when it starts affecting the contest a little bit and they're pretty substantial, it's good to kind of just address it. Because a lot of people don't know about, they just see the penalty and they're like, okay, what the heck was it for? Number one, there is a contest coordinator, there is a timing penalty judge sort of that'll assess those penalties. Now, you can get penalties for anything. You can get a penalty for warming up, for essentially playing your horn outside of your allotted warm-up time. You get a penalty for that. There are boundaries that you have to adhere to that are on the field. And they're clearly marked in the adjudication handbook and all that stuff. There's penalties for all sorts of stuff. It's important to realize that all that stuff's laid out. All that stuff's laid out in the handbook. And yeah, some things do happen. Fun fact, I literally individually received a penalty at a Bands of America Regional because I played a solo over the boundary line in the front, in front of the front ensemble. Yes, I got a penalty. Of course, because of course I got a penalty. And it was justified. There was nothing, it wasn't like it was a big secret or anything like that. No, I knew that I had it. Like I said, these things happen from sometimes. Now, this particular contest, I wanted to address it because, this affected some placements. This affected some placements in finals, and penalties affected who made finals. Yes, that actually happened, and it's rare that happens, but it does happen, and it's heartbreaking. It sucks to see, but that's part of the game. That's part of it. Just adhering to the rules and stuff like that, and sometimes that stuff is very difficult to avoid. Different circumstances come up. You just try to work with the contest you try to work the contest as best as you can. You just try to, make sure you're taking care of what you need to take care of on contest day to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. Like I said, sometimes that stuff happens. Happened to me my senior year, and my friends found out about it between prelims and finals, and they were not happy with me. And now I don't think it cost us any placements or anything. We still made finals, but it's not a fun time when everyone's kind of looking at you like, hey man, you're supposed to be the drum major, you're supposed to be increasing our score, not decreasing it. Yeah, that's okay. I made up for it, I think. I don't know. You'll have to ask them. That's pretty much the contest. I mean, the Valley programs they're getting better every year. There's this kind of stigma that, it's down the valley and, we don't really need to pay attention to them. Yeah, you do need to pay attention to them. We're all part of this great state of Texas. Every part. West Texas, North, East, South, Central, doesn't matter. We're all part of this great state. We're all part of this great activity, and we should all support each other, no matter where we're from, no matter who's in the program, no matter how big the program is, or whatever. These kids did fantastic. These kids did fantastic. Thank you to everybody who listened or who watched the live blog this weekend. Mr. Daniel Sanchez headed down, completely in control of the live blog this weekend. He was awesome as always. Fantastic stuff. He mentioned that some people went up to him in the stands and, said hello and complimented the website and everything. We love that stuff. We love when people come up to the stands. We love when people hang out with us and talk marching band, or if you just want to say hi. I mean, we love that stuff. We've been doing it for years. We know what we're doing. We're the best at it. And there was proof of that this weekend with Mr. Sanchez knocking out the McAllen live blog. So we really appreciate everybody's support. Valley programs, good stuff. John B. Alexander, a program on the rise. So you might want to kind of keep them you might want to keep them swirling around your head when we get to the San Antonio Regional in a month and a half. It's going to be pretty interesting to say the least. I think that's all I've got on the McAllen Regional. Again, another successful contest. Congratulations to Music for All and Bands of America for putting on another fantastically run show. That's it. That's the cherry on McAllen. So we take care of that. We package that. It's all good. Great job to everybody there. Fantastic stuff. And now, the next episode, which will come out later this week. I'm not sure when. And I usually don't put a timestamp on it or anything like that. This week, arguably the best Bands of America Regional in the United States. The Bands of America Austin Regional. Yes, the live blog will be there. Yes, I will be there. It's a very exclusive contest in terms of who's going to make finals. I can't wait to dive into it. We're going to put out the Nerd In later this week, all about Bands of America Austin Regional. We got a lot of support in the Austin area. A lot of support. I can't wait to talk to you all then. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you very soon. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting TexasBands.com. Thank you for supporting this show. Thank you for following me all on the YouTube page and the Apple Podcast app and Instagram at Danpodcast. Thank you all so much. Great job, Valley Bands. Keep it up. Keep working. We are so proud of you. Thank you for listening. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.